Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, my morning's been going pretty good. Not too bad so far. I worked as long as I basically had to. I was so exhausted. So yeah, I actually my last delivery took me to the Sphere right over here. Uh, oh, excuse me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really close to home. I just got that feeling just cut out right now and go home, get some sleep. Glad I did it. It felt really, really good. So, yeah. And yesterday, like I mentioned, I decided to go ahead and start that or try that inhaler. And um, I was going to see about maybe doing that one puff just before I curled up and took a nap, and guess who forgot? Yeah. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, and I definitely noticed the difference last night. I had another really large shopping order that I had to do, and being with between being in the store and driving around and so forth, definitely noticed a big difference between the night before when I had done when I started the new inhaler compared to yesterday. Yeah, huge difference. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is just doing the one puff, like right before I go to bed. Then that way it gives my body opportunity to rest, to get it into my system, so on and so forth. I will admit I woke up this morning feeling a lot better. I did notice that I had a little bit of a different side effect that kicked in when I did do it before I went to bed. Um, one of the side effects with it was menstrual cramping. Definitely felt that. Not fun, especially since I am going through menopause and I have been dealing with cramping in that area anyway, and then it got magnified. I was like, okay, and I felt it a little bit this morning. I had to go run an errand real quick, and yeah, I definitely felt it kick in when I was running around. Taking care of that one errand this morning. It was like, oh, crud. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with doing that one puff at least for right now. Do it before I go to bed or what have you. And um, sorry, I was just watching Possum. She jumped up on the foot of the bed and was looking like yeah she looked like she wasn't or she was acting like she wasn't. She was having a little difficulty, but she's okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna do that for right now. Um, well, believe me, if she was having a problem, I would be throwing this tablet and taking care of her, but she's okay. Yeah, you're doing okay, aren't you, baby? Yeah, she's so precious. I know she was curled up here next to me and getting her tummy rubbed this morning. Oh, I posted a picture for you guys. She's just all, oh, mommy, all relaxed and everything's like, yeah, my sweet baby. So, but yeah, I do need to cook today. I don't have no idea what I'm going to do. I keep bouncing around with what to possibly cook. I'm just not too sure. But I did see yesterday, too, I made that announcement with the new fundraiser that they're doing with the Renovation Foundation. I know one of it had to do with Jimmy Kimmel. It is for his live show. For tickets, I believe, for to win that. Um, so yeah, go to for the best information, of course, is to go to their website, renovationfoundation.org, and find out exactly what it's all about and so forth. I'm not entirely too sure, what uh, I know it's a contest. That much I do know. What all is involved to be able to enter, so on and so forth, or whatever. I don't know if it's just like a raffle type drawing, or whatever. I'm not entirely too sure, but definitely go check that out. Okay, over there on their website. Don't rely on me. 'Cause I'll probably be giving you wrong info anyway. So yeah, go over there and check that out. Also, I did hear with the other one that I mentioned with the Nevada SPCA. It is through Subaru. They are hosting something where some sort of fundraiser where the charity of choice, basically with supporting pets, their charity of choice is the Nevada SPCA. So don't you can check with the Nevada SPCA as far as to see if whether or not they are doing posting information about it, that partnership, or not, or just maybe go over to Subaru's website. I'm not entirely too sure exactly how that's all working. This is just info that I had heard over the radio, and I heard it again last night. It was like, okay, so excuse me. Um, I can't think of any, and I think as far as the other one through the Point Radio, that one is accurate. Just head over to their website, 97.1 The Point. It's Las Vegas's classic rock station, to find out about that concert. That's the one. It's a benefit concert to help out the victims of the hurricanes, especially there in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, western Virginia, so on and so forth, with basically Helene. Um, so I wanted to make sure in dishing out, excuse me, proper information about all those as best I can. I know yesterday I was a bit out of it. That's my excuse. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, I was pretty tired yesterday, but at least I did get out there and work, and but I was able to cut out early. So, yeah, and this morning with MJ's reading, with her weekly reading, it's basically the Saturday morning reading is when she goes around the zodiac, starting with whatever sign that we're in, and yeah, it's pretty heavy energy that's out there. November 3rd, November 1st through the 3rd, especially November 3rd, a lot of astrological changes that are going to be happening. There's going to be a big opposition between Pluto and Mars. Apparently, one of the times that this happened, excuse me, especially at those degrees, was back in 1939 when Hitler invaded Poland and we started World War II. So, or should say, he started World War II. It had been mounting, basically since before World War One, even. Let's face it, all every single conflict in history has fed into the next conflict, one way or another. So, uh, but apparently that's when one of the times that had happened. So there's some anticipation out there that there might be some uh, issues, and especially since we have the election here in the States happening shortly after, and so forth. Yeah, it's who knows what's going to happen with everything. So, anyway, yeah, like I said, there's some kind of some uh, heavy energy that's happening out there. A lot of transformation. I know I'm getting that here lately also with healing energy. The healing energy definitely came out with her reading this morning. Um, Actually, it was like a mini reading that she did beforehand. Then she um, showed that to us also there at the end after the Libra reading. So, um, And of course, that's been coming out for in my readings quite a bit here lately. Healing, transformation, getting rest, so on and so forth. Basically, the closing out of old paradigms, old patterns is what it's boiling down to. So, um, and closing out, possibly old relationships that are no longer working for us, um, financial situations, what have you. So I get it. Yeah, it has been. And it's like she said, if you have been having issues with sleep, maybe your sleep patterns have been being disrupted, waking up in the middle of the night or whatever, or if not, if you're just feeling really tired all the time, it's basically messages trying to come through. Is what it boils down to. But yeah, it's kind of intense energy that's out there. So yeah. Um, I know I'm trying to think of things to include with um, with this video. But the main thing is just, of course, when all of this is happening, that was another thing. But basically, the big message, the overall message is coming out, because we're having a lot of the shadow side of the divine masculine that's coming up to the forefront right now, um, showing where we need to make improvements and everything. And it's up to us who are basically embodying the divine feminine energy, that nurturing energy, and so forth, to be the beacon of light. So it's going to be up to us to um, teach and to help enlighten people on how to remain balanced, remaining balanced, not just necessarily within our. How do I say this? To basically to be balanced, or find the balance and maintain it between the 5D and the 3D. That's what I'm trying to say. And finding that good Dukes mixture between the two. On the one hand, being spiritual. I know I have an itch. On the one hand, being being spiritual, being connected with the divine and so forth, but also maintaining ourselves here in the 3D as well. Finding that good balance between the two. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And of course, keeping ourselves grounded and doing our meditation practices, um, yoga, whatever it is that we do, our personal tarot readings, where keeping our crystals close by, wearing our crystals, so on and so forth. It's all very, very important. Okay. Um, and basically doing whatever it is that you need to do to keep that balance and everything, so that way we can beat that beacon of light. Speaking of light, yeah, I forgot to turn it off. So I keep getting this glare from from up there and everything. Sorry about that. So yeah, all of it's very, very important. Okay. Um, yeah. Oh, I'm like, there was something else I need. See, I knew I was going to forget. That's why I mentioned it yesterday. Today would have been my mom's 71st birthday. So if she would have made it this long, I don't know if she would have, to be perfectly honest. When she died, she was only 54. But she was also a 30-year diabetic at that point, type 1 diabetic, and which is the more severe one. That is driving me nuts with that light. So yeah, and basically what wound up taking her was a stroke, blood clot uh, to the brain, cerebral hemorrhage. Um, Cerebral hemorrhage in Carthage, or whatever it is that the official cause of death was. Um, so anyway, yeah, if she could have made it, she would have been a 46-year type 1 diabetic. That's why I say that very unlikely. Yeah, there's been a lot of advancements or really good advancements in the treatment for uh, diabetes, especially type 1. Much better insulins now than there was before. Um, I'm I I know when I became a type 1 last year, I was a bit weary, wondering, about things and so forth, because I know the things that she went through with it. But yeah, the insulins that are out now, unfortunately, they're by prescription only. Um, but I mean, there's over the counter. I've tried them. Yeah, huge difference. I don't know how she managed it, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, at least with me, with my diabetes, because of course everybody's diabetes is going to be a little bit different in some ways. She was able to take it and bam, she, no issues. But with me, when I took the same insulin, different dosage, it's like it was taking hours for it to react. And but with these insulins, much better of a situation. It's like bam, usually within 20-30 minutes, bam, I need something to eat now. I have to actually be a little bit careful. It's like I try and take it just before or something, because otherwise I can wind up bottoming out. So yeah, there's that, with the insulins, much better. And of course the sensors. Oh my gosh, that is the best invention ever. Of course, we have smartphones to thank for that, especially Bluetooth technology. We have to thank for that. Um, I've got to tell you that it really is. Those sensors are the best invention ever. I've got to tell you, because before with all the finger pricking you always had to do and wondering, I'm kind of feeling a little funny. Am I high? Am I low? Whatever. And then of course you're going to sleep at nighttime, and anything can happen during that time, and um, you could have a low sugar, not realize it, because of course you're in a deep sound sleep as it is anyway, and then when your sugar's dropping you get sleepy, and then bam, you wind up in a diabetic coma, you know so but that's why one of the reasons why service animals can be very helpful, because they're in tune with us. They can feel, they know, they can sense it, and then they can wake us up. That's what possum does with me a lot of times. um, that's one of the reasons why I have her. So in that way, well, I have her because she's my baby, but after becoming a diabetic, I noticed that she does help me out quite a bit, with my diabetes if I'm having issues or whatever. So a lot of times when I'm going into those low sugars, I don't want to stay awake. I'm like, "Ugh, I just want to lay down and go to sleep a little bit." Well, that's the last thing I should be doing, because, of course, I could wind up falling into that coma. But she'll help me stay awake and everything. And with moving in with here, this is the first place I've had to be, where I um, had to worry about paying, like a pet fee or what have you. So, yeah, initially I did, but now I don't have to worry about paying that in addition to my rent. Of course, I had to pay the deposit because I didn't have the proper documentation at that point. But and unfortunately, I won't get that money back. But now I don't have to worry about paying for it, because I went back to my doctor. I'm like, hey, can you write me a letter? And he was like, sure, no problem. So I don't have to worry about paying for that. And it is legitimate. It isn't like with an ESA or whatever, an emotional support animal. She is basically a medical support animal now, officially. Um, so I can take her with me hotels, take her on a plane with me. I can even travel with her internationally now, because she is a considered to be a medical support animal. Um, so, and I don't have to worry about, like I said, I don't have to worry about paying any additional fees or whatever, because she is considered to be a necessity in order to help keep me alive. So, but yeah, so I don't even remember where I was going with any of this, but yeah, um, I know I keep watching her too because she's so cute. You know, she's curled up in a ball, sound asleep. It's like, oh, she's so. I don't know if I can turn it around. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Oh darn! Now she's woken up. She's like, no. She's like, what are you waking me up for, Ma? But anyway, so yeah. Oh, I know I was talking about diabetes, but yeah. Um, and yeah, that's right. I know I was talking about, with the sensors and everything. So yeah, that, like I said, there's been some great, new advancements, or newer advancements. And of course, there's the insulin pumps and there's the EpiPens, which I haven't subscribed to just yet. Personally, I like having. You can take the sensor and you can have it hooked up through your phone, as long as you have a proper phone to be able to do it, with proper technology, which I don't, because I only buy cheap phones. But like $20 phones, 20 maybe $30, because I drop them all the time. But the thing I like about having with the reader though is because it also has a spot there where you can do actual fingerprint blood test, which I had to do this go round, because it takes about 12 hours when you have to start a new sensor once every 2 weeks. And sometimes you get a sensor that for whatever reason it just doesn't want to activate for no idea why. Well, first it takes about an hour for it to activate when you first put it on. Um, but then it needs 12 hours for it to calibrate. And during that 12 hours, it is recommended to do finger pricking, but and not rely on the sensor, because you might get misreadings or whatever. But every once in a while, you get a sensor, and it just doesn't want to activate at all. You just, every time you scan it, it just keeps telling you check back in so many hours or whatever, until it's activated. So during that time, you're exposed basically. You've got no coverage. So nice. So you have to either rely on other glucose monitors, and unfortunately, with most of them out there, the test strips are pretty expensive. But the test strips for these are really cheap. They're only $15. So it's actually less, yeah, give or take a few dollars, depending on where you buy them. And it's a pack of 25. So, and you don't use them all that terribly often. So really all you need is 25 of them. So, but yeah, that's one nice thing about having the reader. Yeah, it's something else that you have to carry around or whatever. But if you get one of these little cases, I got this one from Prime. Just get one of these little cases. And it's just like, like with a pager, like we used to carry around when we were younger. It has the clip on there, and just clip it onto your pants or skirt or whatever it is that you're wearing. Bra strap, tank top strap, whatever. You know, you're good to go. And, you can do that, or it also comes has a loop back here. It comes with a lanyard. You can wear it around your neck if you don't want to put it on your pants or belt loop, or your belt or whatever. Simple as that. And they don't just come in with the pretty, pretty flowers for all you guys out there. They, they also come in straight colors and everything. I just wanted something pretty. I'm a girl. I may be a tomboy, but I do have a girly side. So anyway, um, yeah, that's basically my best friend, aside from her, of course. But I've loved it. I have absolutely loved it. I often wonder if my mom would have liked the technology or not. She was somebody who really didn't take to technology all too terribly much. So I kind of wonder if she would have or not. Sometimes I think she would, but it's hard to say. So that's why. Okay, I'm like, how did I get to this train of thought? My mom, her birthday today. She would have been 71. Let's go through that all over again. Let's not say we did. So, anyway, happy birthday to my mom. Um, yeah, I of course miss her a lot. So, um, but yeah, she was basically my rock in so many ways. And when she passed away, um, yeah, in many ways it was like having a rug pulled out from up underneath me. I hadn't. Yeah, it's been a long journey. It really has been a long journey, um, getting through it. I don't think you ever get through it. Actually, I know you don't. You never do. It just gets easier, but that's about it. So, anywho, wow, I did talk a little bit more than I thought I would. All right, so I definitely need to go see about cooking something. I have hamburger in there. I have no idea what I'm gonna make. Not entirely too sure. Thought about maybe making pasties, but I don't feel like rolling out all that dough. I've been a bit lazy here lately. So I was thinking that maybe I just cook up the meat in the pan and uh, throw some rice in it and be done with it. If anything, it'll last longer too. So, anywho, all right, I should let you go so I can go and do that and everything. So, all right, I love you guys, and I will talk at you soon.